That's...
And the funny part too.
Look what they made the boat out of.
Yeah, books.
I've never seen books at home.
That treacherous woman up there has dragged these books up to your colony just to bring
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me?
You think that books and poetry and learning would keep him safe.
Yeah, I know. Are you looking at the belly too?
Every parent figure I've ever had has either let me down or died.
Oh wait. Oh god, I know what it is.
Only for you.
Oh shit.
You harpooned me. Well, you started it. You literally started.
It doesn't matter who started it. Those spores are the medusoid mycelium.
Medusoid mycelium. I feel something weird in my throat. Yes. That weird
Crap.
feeling is
Oh no.
You don't realize it's happening to you too, right?
spores.
Oh god damn it.
We're never gonna make it.
There has to be something we can do.
There's always one thing you can do.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did like
legit
get hit.
You can die.
Wait.
Sugar.
I called it last fucking episode, and it was fucking.
Mycelium.
I thought that was horseradish.
Horseradish cures you. The hybrid immunizes you. Baudelaires, I failed you. I told you I would come back.
So the sugar is the cure.
The sugar, no, horseradish.
Do you know where they are? How are they safe? I don't know.
The horseradish gets rid of it.
Where I can reach them.
The sugar
I'm so
makes
sorry.
you immune from it.
That's why she's not coughing like your ass. God
Shit,
damn
there's gotta
it.
be something there.
There's gotta be something, man.
Parents cook with spices.
Your parents have to have spices if they're able to.
We have to find horseradish.
Was that snake there before?
That snake wasn't there before.
Oh, God damn it, not the baby too!
Not the baby!
Not the baby!
Uh-oh.
Snake. Wait! What if it's one of Montgomery's snakes?
That's true!
Wait, what did he say before? The snake that looked deadly but isn't?
It isn't. She used to have fun with the snake, remember?
It looked like the incredibly deadly viper.
Isn't deadly.
That's not deadly.
I knew it! Oh!
The apple!
Wow. Adam and Eve reference much?
It would have the natural sugar in it already. That's why.
It's the best thing I've ever tasted.
I can't move.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm not as strong as you.
I just thought about what's gonna happen.
Lost too many people.
I just thought about it. What the hell does that mean?
Kid, her baby is a...
Quit being cryptic, it's a series finale.
Kit?
Might die.
See, he still has a thing for her. Because, like I said, they used to have that thing, so he still has feelings. Now that he heard that she's slowly dying.
That looks bad. I've been worse.
I've been worse. I've been through worse. I've been worse.
I've been worse. Wow.
There's a lot of like religious undertones. Is that just me?
That's just you. Or there probably is. Oh god.
Hey, might as well try.
Yuck.
Yeah.
You
I told you I did that one last time.
Aww.
are a wicked man.
Don't have any kids yourself.
Don't have any
You
kids.
kid yourself.
Oh,
Oh wow, that's
Olaf is dead.
it. He is dead.
Is he dead? I like the kids. He died doing one good thing.
One last good thing. Reese is that really good of an actor.
We'll have to wait on that. But damn. Yeah,
Even then, he did one last good thing.
you get a kind of sense where it's going, right?
Rejoin the world.
No.
Oh, this is her parents.
Yeah. This is the first time we really see the father.
To raise children someplace safe. But we now realize we cannot shelter them forever.
The father does look familiar. Like, actor-wise. The Beatrice.
If it is a girl, we will name her Violet. And if it is a boy...
Lemony.
Lemony? They were gonna name me Lemony.
I wonder why that name was so important.
We met a Lemony, remember?
Our parents never told us about him.
Quagmire.
To be reunited at last.
Myers.
We're two submarine co-captains.
He and Fiona.
Missing stepfather.
Hi, this is Captain Wittersons. Is anyone out there?
They found him.
They found her father. Hey!
Personal and artistic fulfillment.
They did what Olaf couldn't.
Couldn't.
At least
Be
for-
successful at plays.
I've even heard of them. Strange as it may seem, I still hope for the best, even though the best, like an interesting piece of mail, so rarely arrives.
Mr. C.
No.
Rhetorical investigator.
14th time you were followed to your motel room, it might not be the police or any surviving enemies. It
Gets it
lived
from
their
him.
parents in a mansion in the heart of a busy city.
You know this story.
Parts.
Parts.
Do you know the part about the pirates?
Pirates.
Female Finnish pirates. It was after we sailed away from the island,
They
before the third trip to Briny Beach. Violet had just tied up her hair to invent a steering mechanism, and Klaus was studying tidal tracks. And suddenly looked
They still continue their adventures even
Sure,
after.
human
They made it okay. That's what it
They
is.
did it. Here. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
So that was the series finale of a
Series of unfortunate events.
So, I mean, in the end, we got what we wanted. While they didn't get their happy ending, they still got a happy ending.
Yeah, they were
But
still,
it was their version of a happy ending.
it was their version, pretty much, which is just another adventure for them, pretty much. And
Yes.
they were able to make it back, but it's just showing that, you know, they were still
What I
more
love
stories.
most is, aside from that montage where some of the better people wound up,
Yeah.
I did like that we didn't have Poe in it. We didn't have any of those characters we saw in penultimate.
Some of the annoying ones that just were annoying. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you know, overall, I think I love that it was focused. This is no longer about any of their other characters.
It's more
we got
focused on
all that
them.
done with in the previous episode.
Just focused on them and Olaf and everything like that. It was just focused on the primary characters.
And being a year away, and considering how stupid some of these adults are, nobody's going to really care about.
After a certain amount of time, it's like, who?
And plus, from what it sounds like, from what I would guess, it feels like, yeah, they never stopped moving, but it's just because that's who they are now. It's just, they already know there's always going to be another adventure over the horizon.
Yeah, it's something new. There's something different every time.
And you can make up your own happy ending. I mean...
Yeah. That's in a way, that's where it kind of ended, where it's like, you can make it up along as you will.
Violet probably wound up with, what's his name?
One of the Quagmires.
Yeah, Klaus probably wound up finding Fiona again. You know, the troop was doing great. We even got good news in the first shot. The fucking newspaper got finally shut down after many years later.
Of pretty much false accusations.
Yeah, we're gonna assume the girl's 10, so it's been about like a decade. Beatrice. I keep on saying kid. I apologize. I mean Beatrice Baudelaire's second.
Yeah, Beatrice the second, pretty much, and you know, it shows pretty much it's in the family. It runs in the family.
Yeah, I'm also glad they didn't do a whole like adult versions of them. That
was okay. That was really fine with me because it's the type of thing going. We grew up with them watching the show. You know, we not grew up, but we pretty much saw them throughout the show. So it's like, why were we gonna show adult versions when they're just, it's just tell them that they like you said, you give it your own happy ending. Saying in the back of your mind, like us, they did make it, but they still continue their adventure.
I mean, Olaf's dead. That's the end of that part of the story. The only real thing is, the only gaping hole left is that the Sinister Duo is still out there.
Yeah.
But here's how I look at it. That's probably one of the only downs I have with this finale. But I look at it this way. There's that whole morality we keep on talking about. Mm-hmm. Good, evil. And there's always going to be that evil out there. The Sinister Duo weren't the villains of this season. They were just the representatives.
That everyone is noble.
No. The Sinister Duo are representative of the evil in the world.
Oh, that true evil.
Think about what was Penultimate.
No, I know. I remember. I know.
Yeah. Penultimate Peril showed the three different ones. Those who are always going to be evil, those who put out the fires, and those who are completely oblivious.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be a Sinister Duo, where it's that one, or that duo, or another duo. There's always going to be evil out in the world.
Yeah.
And I like that. We didn't need to see them vanquished. We know, for all we know, their adventures could continue trying to stop them. For all we know. They could have started their own VFD. Once again, they could have you could interpret this however you want. And that's what I enjoyed about this series finale. Mm-hmm. They dealt with Olaf. We finally found out what was in the Sugar Bowl, which I joked about in the Penultimate Peril Part 2, but it turns out, yes, there was sugar. It was a special kind of sugar that was in the bowl.
Yeah, it was a special sugar that made them immune. That's why it was a schism. Because at the time, pretty much, they didn't like it. They wanted to get rid of it because it's the type of thing going, why do we need it since we already got rid of the main weapon? That's what it is, because it's like they made a weapon with this fungus. It's like, why are we making a weapon? Why should we be making a weapon? And the schism was that, we'll take this because then we could become immune, so when we could use the weapon. So that was the schism. That was what really was like, no.
I did like a lot of the imagery of this finale too. Aside from the snake and the apple and the tree and
it just brought us back to a lot of pretty much what they had gone throughout every season.
Yeah, that's why I liked whoever designed that area. Put little nods throughout the little junkyard in front of the tree.
From every episode, pretty much, from each one of their adventures, from place to place they went to, and what's even cooler is that we got to see pretty much, because it's like they brought it up a few times, but it's like now we get to see where the principal was at this whole time.
Yeah, because there was vice principal. They only brought.
Because he kept bringing up. He always kept bringing up, going vice principal is the best type. Best type of principal, pretty much to be, and all on top of that, we find out that he is the one who was he's the founder of VFD, and he was the one pretty much who that's how he recruited them, was through the school, because whenever he saw certain kids who had potential, that ability, that's when he started putting them to the program. Yeah. But then he had to leave pretty much because things started happening.
Yeah, and another thing, exactly, and of course, for all we know, the Bullies went right over to the VFD library. Because remember, that didn't get burned down. As far as I know, that didn't really
because it was only the top. This was below underwater. This was below water, pretty much.
Yeah, there was a connection to the library, but I would assume that would be closed off unless you knew the access.
So I would think pretty much they decided to go back to the library and take charge of it. Even though the hotel still burnt down, they decided, let's take charge of this, the library and make sure this history gets protected. So. But
there was, in its own way, it delivered a happy ending in the best way the show can.
Yeah.
The Bowlers are still alive and safe, and they've taken care of an adorable kid, named Beatrice Bowler II. That's a mouthful. And Lemony got closure at the end. The one we found out recently always felt guilty about what happened to them. Yeah. Now knows not only are they safe, but they raised your niece.
Yeah, they raised your niece pretty much, and that's how come. Even they realized they if you think about it, they kind of feel bad because of what they did to Lemony. Because it's like, here is another snicket that was trying to help us, and we turned them down. Yeah. We turned them down. And it's like they felt bad. It's like, you need to go see, a close relative of yours. You need to go see your uncle. And that's how come it's like you need to go see him because it's the type of thing going that he's your only last piece of family.
They probably
have.
what happened was part of their adventure was searching for him, and then when they finally found him about a decade later, that's where they thought the best idea would be to send Beatrice.
And pretty much let her know that let him know that they're okay, but also it's like it's the type of thing going. It's like, you know, they forgive you, you know, for what you tried to do for them. You tried to help them. You tried to help them get away, but at the moment you were so worried about what was going on.
And because of their adventures, hell, their story didn't even wrap up with they sailed away and that's it. No, they sailed away and ran to Finnish, like, what was it, all-female group of Finnish pirates or something?
Just pirates, pretty much.
Whole group of pirates and stuff like that.
But like I said, though,
steering wheel.
Like I said, though, like I was saying before, it's the type of thing where they kind of left it open, but at the same time they didn't. To where it's like, in a way, it's like it ended to where their adventures continue no matter what.
That's why I said, it's the best way to describe the finale is that it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of areas they could have gone. Back to the library, fighting the Quagmires again, continuing their adventures and trying to stop the Sinister Duo.
Yeah.
Starting up a new VFD where it borrows off of Kit's philosophy that she told them, is that sometimes if you're going to put out a fire, you're going to need to start a fire.
Yeah. You know, they're going to start new philosophies. So it's the type of thing where you can interpret it however you want to interpret.
But the biggest thing to take away though is they're safe.
Yeah, they're okay.
They're safe.
And they're safe. They pretty much, that's why he's like, this is a series of unfortunate events. It doesn't end too well for them, but in a way, it ended kind of what they were expecting.
Yeah, it was kind of a tragic beginning. I mean, tragic end to their beginning with Kit dying and them having to look after Beatrice,
yeah.
But in the long run,
he just called it unfortunate. They didn't have
a series of unfortunate events.
Well, no. The only reason he kept saying pretty much it didn't end well for them is because at the time, like I said, when he was investigating this, they were still missing. Yeah, so that's why he always considered them not alive.
That's why I always thought about when he. I'll get a bit more into this in the series review, but that's why I always thought whenever Lemony thought about whenever he said this does not have a happy ending, I felt like there was going to be in some way.
Yeah.
And eventually by this point we found out that he just didn't know. He thought they wound up with a bad end.
And that's why throughout the story he always kept telling us this doesn't have a happy ending, but it does.
Yeah.
In a way it does is at the moment he never knew until she showed up.
Yeah. So I think overall very good series finale. I would normally say I wouldn't like something like this where it left it open or it left a lot of things unanswered or opened up.
Yeah.
I would, like I said, I'm just gonna go down and say it was a good series finale and it left it open to interpretation, but in the long run it lets you know, they did have a happy ending.
Yeah, that they were safe and they were.
And they wound up in a town that looks like a giant VFD symbol from the sky.
That's it.
So
now he's finished with the season finale overview. We dive into
I say series review is going to tackle season review, but we can go over season review for a bit because I usually thought this was the best of the 3 seasons.
Yeah, we'll go over the season overall.
But only mainly because it finally started answering questions and delivering information we've been wondering for the last few seasons.
Since the first episode.
The other seasons had, but this one really delivered.
This pretty much literally. This season was the can of worms, pretty much. This is
when they opened the can of worms.
And this is where everything started piecing together. Everything started coming together of why things happened, why VFD did this, or why VFD did that, or why even Olaf did this, or why did Olaf do that.
I mean, my favorite, book from this season was easily Penultimate Peril.
Yeah.
Just
that really just pretty much you got to see
not only how far they come, but how much they've learned since then.
Since then, but also, just how Olaf is pretty much. Just how this man, he may be stupid at sometimes, but he has those moments where he's smart. He has those very intelligent moments, and that episode even showed it, especially when they called him up to the stand and stuff like that. Because when they called him up to the stand, he was like, he wanted that. Because
and even in the finale, the Bulliers won in a way, where they had him do one last good thing. The devious, deceptive man, they made him do one last good thing before dying, and that was save Kit.
Save Kit, because even we saw in the past, they had a thing for each other back in the day. So it's like his heart was still there for her.
So even Olaf had a great arc this season, though he did start off acting mainly like the last 2 seasons. But
yeah, but his character really completely changed this season. This is a season where you saw his character evolve a whole bunch.
Well, pretty much we got a better understanding.
And yeah, exactly. We got a better understanding of why he's doing what he does, and pretty much why he's the way he is, you know? And it really, this season was just fantastic. And also, like I said, you know, you get to see a lot of characters return, come back, you know, and just, yeah, it's fantastic. And what's great is that, I hate to bring back the season finale, but what's great is that even the earlier episodes, we saw pretty much, and they even said multiple times, what happens to some of these characters. And perfect examples like Mr. Poe. We didn't really need to see what happened to him, because it's like we already know what happens to him and his family, and already saw what happened to
cave.
Yeah, his kids in the cave, things like that. So it's like we don't really need to see what happened with him, because isn't this like the first episode we saw that doesn't have Mr. Poe? Didn't we have one before? Where
I think there's always no. I think there have been a couple episodes
where he has not shown up.
He hasn't shown up in part 1, then he'll eventually show up near the end of part 2.
Yeah, this one, for one full episode though, that's the thing.
They did bring up when they were reading the incomplete history book.
Yeah, they did bring him up, because they said, it sounded like they said Mr. Poe was an alias or something like that, or that's what it sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they were saying, but this season overall was, like you said, hands down the best season pretty much, only because like you said, it spilled the beans with everything, all the information that everybody needed to know. Everybody was theorizing, and now it was coming to the light pretty much of what was happening, and what was going on. And a lot of characters evolved even in this season dramatically, big time. But this season was fantastic. They did a great job putting this season together overall.
Yeah. So for the first time ever, we're gonna do a series review.
We're diving into the series review, and then
it's not going to be that long, people. So.
We'll try not to make it too long, but we'll dive into the series review, and then we'll go into pretty much the character development over the seasons, pretty much. For some of the main characters, not every single character.
We'll make it simple. The Baudelaires and Olaf. I mean, they're 2 core, aspects of this show.
Well, I want to add in a couple more, but we'll get to that point when it comes. But let's dive into pretty much the overall series itself. And this series of unfortunate events, the way they took it pretty much was very unique. I have a lot of friends pretty much who just, not a lot, just a couple friends who just didn't want to watch it because, again, it was a type of thing where they didn't really, of course, Jim Carrey's the one who started it off. And for them, that's what they saw, pretty much. And they said it was kind of difficult without seeing. And I tried to explain to them that if you look past that and watch more of the episodes, he'll grow on you. And that's what pretty much what happened here in this series, how they took Olaf. It's like he grew on you, pretty much. And that's what I love about what they did with this season. And they kept it the same tone, just like how the movie was, in a way. Because this is how outrageous it was, how everything was. But like you had stated in the beginning of the series, of how what was it with the children and the parents. What was that again?
Oh yeah. Pretty much. When we first started watching it, we easily got frustrated.
Yeah, because of the
ultimately frustrated.
But the adults didn't know.
Yeah. Then you have to look for a different perspective. Is that this is technically a children's book series?
Yeah.
It's technically a children's book series, and you have to show the children being the smartest ones.
Being the smart ones that people they can look up to.
Yeah. Kids always think they're smarter than their parents. This entire core of the series is kids being smarter than the adults.
Yeah.
Except for a certain few, which we catch on to later, the kids are the smarter ones. They show that. Hell, we saw that in the series finale when the girl was having none of Olaf's shit with that disguise.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But, that's what the core was about. It was, showing these kids, being smart to everybody and always running up to surviving till the next adventure.
It's the type of thing where instead of following these characters, they grabbed these characters and made characters that the kids can look up to. Not just looking at, I like this, I look up to this adult character or that adult. No, you're looking up towards the kids, because the kids are the ones who are making sense of everything, of putting everything together.
Mm-hmm.
and they did a great. You know, it's like here it displayed it perfectly throughout the season. It displayed it spot on. You know, and it just showed pretty much how sometimes adults really don't look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, they don't look at the bigger picture, and that's why even when they do find the bigger picture, it's too late. You know, when everything starts to come together for some adults who understand what's going on, it's too late for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they try to think they could solve it, or something else happens where it's like, nope, it didn't go as planned. You know, and this series, it displayed that just right. You know, it did it in a way that it kept it good. You know, another thing I liked about the series too is how the inside jokes pretty much about the show itself.
Oh, the meta humor.
That, you know, yeah, exactly. You know, just talking about when it comes to who will ever watch, you know, like a bunch of shows all at once, or stream it.
Or Series Finale is a good example. It's like it's been a very long story, and so it goes 3 seasons.
3 seasons, you know, it's like the little inside jokes where it's like realizing, going, yeah, we know it's a show. You know, it's like the little inside humor here and there, or even the jokes. Remember the whole Nickelodeon type of jokes, you know, when they brought that up. You know, it's a type of thing where it's like it's self-aware of it, you know, of it telling the story, but at the same time, it's like it kept it going strong. You know, realizing, you know, this is serious. This is like, you know, this is a story following these innocent children and stuff like that. And the characters that they meet throughout the series, it's not the series overall, but the characters that they meet is so very unique and different in their own way, and I love that. You can cut in at any moment just to let you know.
I'm listening.
But you know, but the characters that they meet though is very interesting. You know, from of course they start off with Olaf, but then they go on to the, you know, they see the judge and Justice Strauss. You know, somebody they could look up to, somebody that handles justice, who likes the lie, you know, all this type of stuff. You know, and you know, it's cool to see her come all the way back and try to help them, but just to realize not everything she can fix.
Yeah, and what I found most interesting is that I think one thing I didn't like, I would say I really didn't like, is that you think that one of these members of the VFD would explain to him full-handed bullet layers about what's going on.
You think they would stop and then explain to him everything that's going on right in there, but
I mean, enough to, you know, I know they don't know everything, but enough, you know, what they do know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think that's my real downside with the show is that you felt like they could have easily told him at any time, but instead just played it coy and didn't say much, and all we got was Patrick Warburton's narration about it, and like how they met their unfortunate end. Haha, unfortunate. I'm sorry. I know you're praising the show right now.
No.
I 100% agree with your stuff.
No. And that's why I said you can cut it any time. Because like I said, I was going to get up to the moments like that pretty much where it's like, but you know, it's like the show's not perfect. It's not perfect. It has its flaws.
But yeah, if I had one like very major like downside with this show is just that like none of VFD actually told him. They just told him to keep moving. And he never told him what's going on, why Olaf had that mysterious telescope, what's with the symbol, what's with the incomplete history of such a, why did somebody like the librarian have to...
Well, not even that, it's like, who's this uncle, who's this aunt type of thing. I mean, it seems like they knew them, but it's just like, even their caretakers in the beginning, it's like you would think they would stop and tell them what's going on, or something like that, but it's like they wanted to keep it secret from them, and... At times it's like, why don't just tell them? Because then you can speed up the process of letting them know what's going on, what's happening.
Yeah.
So then they'll know what to expect or what's going to happen.
Like, I'm not even blaming Poe for it because Poe, like I said, was that in-between where he was just oblivious to what was going on. And I'm fine with that because he's supposed to be, of course, he's supposed to be a guy kids hate when reading these books because he just doesn't understand the kids because the kids are talking a whole lot of sense while he's talking a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have the smarter VFD adults not saying anything, not doing anything. Hell, we saw 3 new ones in Pendleton Peril Part 2. Found out nothing about them later.
Yeah. And even then, pretty much. I mean, the one thing I could say is that the reason possibly they could be, why they didn't want to tell them is because they, tell them what their parents did, even at the opera house type of stuff. You know, it's like we didn't want to tell them what their parents were capable of, or their parents, this is what they did and stuff like that. You know, it's the type of thing where it's like it had to build up to them to start to understand and comprehend what their parents did. Now, again, sounds like I'm defending the show, but at the same time, I'm just saying this is possibly why a lot of the characters are VFD members. They want to tell the children, because it's like, you know, they see their parents in this light, they're not going to believe them that their parents are in this light. That could be the reason. But still, it still bothers them that they had all this time.
And while that does go back to the whole Weiss earlier about the kids being smarter than adults, it feels like these kind of adults were smart, but then didn't do anything. I mean, yes, we had a couple members of VFD help the kids from the background, but that was the background. They didn't help them in the foreground. These kids who were going through hell in a handbasket, and hell, they were the ones, there wasn't even VFD, they were the ones with the one guy's help, the crow guy, I mean the guy, the tree full of crows, to get that giant balloon blimp running to get the Quagmires to safety.
And you say the only closest one person that really always kept an eye on them was Larry the waiter. Pretty much. Larry the waiter pretty much was always somehow close by, and every time even they saw him, they saw hope. They're like, oh, okay, he's here, he's helping, he's doing the best he can. Stuff like that. So it's like, you know, he's one character, it's like one of them that's just like, who's trying to watch them, who's trying to help them in any way possible, but of course things happen who get, you know, that get in their way and things like that, you know?
Like I said, that's my only real downside. Just, I thought the VFD should have done more in the foreground to help the bull layers than just simply, like, helping them in the background while still being, like, very, very cryptic. Because this is a group of kids who found out their parents died in a fire and a banker told them on a beach.
The banker. The very popular Mr. Poe and his damn cough.
Yeah, I'm glad his wife's freaking newspaper got shut down. That's all I got, really. I think, aside from those bullet points, that stuff I didn't like, I still thought it was a good show overall. There were musical moments, but they pretty much got null by the end of the second half of season 2. Yeah. But Neil Patrick Harris did a great job. Lucy Punch did a phenomenal job as well. Because I kind of hated her a bit more than the actress that played Carmelina did great. It sucks we didn't find out what happened to her, but I assume it's what I wanted, which was a canon. So yeah, the performances were good. All 3 kids did great jobs in their respective rights.
I mean, we're still in the series overall, not in the characters just yet.
No.
I'm just saying, sorry.
I know. You can go into characters then, because I'm pretty much...
So overall, the series was great. It had its flaws, its hiccups here and there, but overall, it was good. We enjoyed it. It kept us on the edge of our seats. If you haven't seen the rest of our episodes and stuff like that, go back and start watching. It literally has them at our seats trying to, complain and things like that, but... Like I said, though, the series was good. I mean, if I was to suggest this to anybody else, I would. Especially for those who knew the Jim Carrey one and stuff like that. It's like, listen, you want to know more of that story or you want to finish off what really happened by the end of it, watch the series. It is fantastic. Get past Neil Patrick Harris' character, which he does a phenomenal role in, and you'll enjoy the rest of the series. It's fantastic, You can start up the characters. You can do that.
There's not, like I said, I don't really think we should go. There's not much to go over on that aspect. I can mainly say the bull layers went from being smart, albeit a bit oblivious to what was going on, but as time went along, they learned so much more. But it wasn't really until season 3 where they really realized that there was much.
What was happening, pretty much.
There's going to be those moments where you have to start a fire to put out a fire, kind of moments. Olaf was pretty much a villain throughout all of it. It's not even until this season 3
we see why he's doing what he's doing.
Because season 3, he had the most character development overall. Like, we found out why he hates VFD. He found out why he left. We know why the Sinister Duo helped him.
Yeah.
We know all of this. God, it's still it's still tragic because all those kids are orphans. Decision Doom still got away with it, what they did.
Yeah.
But sorry, anyways. And through time, yeah, we finally learn why Olaf did these things. And he kind of, well, yeah, he's still a bad guy, no doubt about that. I mean, he shoved Aunt Josephine into an area full of piranhas. He's still a good, he was still had that good in him. It just took a while to realize it. Hell, they convinced him not to shoot Dewey. They convinced him to help save Kit. And like I said before, in the end, he did one good thing before his death.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, in a way, is kind of a victory for the Baudelaires. Because, like, he died, but he died doing something that you actually cared about him doing.
The last good thing, pretty much. Good thing that he did, pretty much, before he died. That was the last thing he did. It was a good thing.
As for the three Baudelaires, the biggest development was Sonny. Sonny. The other two were very well established, and
and I love it too, because that it started off to where they were working together, but then the second season it really kicked off. What I really like is that pretty much when you saw there were times when Violet and Klaus, there were times when they bumped heads. It wasn't perfect all the time. They always bumped heads, especially when they met the Quagmires. It's like they bumped heads, created a flirtatious type of stuff. They start, so there were times when they bumped heads and they didn't agree on certain things compared to the first season. That's what really showed that, okay, we really got some good characters here.
Yeah, like I said, then there was Sonny, pretty much, who just, was first just known as the biter.
The biter, but over time, like even you said it in one of the episodes.
She started to become smarter. She started to realize what to do.
Yeah.
She became the vice principal's secretary. She started learning a lot more things.
She became a cook, and now she knows how to cook.
And I guess her goal is to be a cook now when she grows older.
But like it's like what you said pretty much that one episode. Going, by the time she's older, she's gonna be a masterful, pretty much type of VFD member.
Yeah.
Type of agent.
Yeah. And she even helped convince Hookie to like get his shit together in her own way.
Yeah, really, help him realize that they're still good in you.
She had the most adult moment in the first episode of season. In the second episode of season 3, where like she's like, no, I'm gonna stay here because I can find out more. She didn't say it like this, but like I'm gonna stay here to find out more.
Yeah. When she was was that in this season?
Yeah, that was season 3, episode 2.
Yeah, it was the second episode. Yeah. Sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah.
But even there, it's like she started realizing it's like I need to start growing up. That was one big bit of it. It's like I need to start growing up. I'm a big girl now. Let me handle this.
Yeah,
let me do my part.
Yeah, Violet and Klaus, they had some character development, but nothing like too dramatic. And
well, that's what I said. It wasn't too dramatic.
Not really until the.
But they had. That's what I said. It wasn't. That's what I said. It wasn't until the second season when we finally see more character development between those two. Like you said, where it's like they're not always perfect. They're not always going to agree on certain things. They're going to bump heads. And that second season, they did that. It's like they bumped heads a little bit, and there you go. They bumped heads, and then that's what happened. A
lot of bumping heads, apparently.
But you know what I mean, though, where it's just like that. Every brother and sister relationship is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
They're still going to have their issues here and there, and to me, their characters were fantastic. And like I said, Sonny's overall, like I said, was, I think, like you said, the most strongest development. And it was just fantastic, especially her growing up the way she is.
Yeah. So that's I mean, that's all I got, character development wise. The main core were the Baudelaires and Olaf. Other characters we got, I think the other one is Lemony, but like, we didn't really get to know Lemony until the final season.
Yeah.
And by that point, we kind of figured that him talking about the Baudelaires being a tragic end, there was more to it than that.
There was a lot more to it overall.
And like I said, in the end, he got his happy ending when finding out some semblance of his family lineage continues on through Beatrice Baudelaire II.
Yeah, through his niece, pretty much.
Through
that's
his
how
niece.
come the kid sent her to him because like that's your last piece of family you have left.
The real piece of family.
Yeah, the real piece of family you have left, and you can tell just the relation between them because they're both similar the way they investigate certain things. From the sound of it.
So and
we already said our favorite episode for this season at least was the penultimate. Peril. But do we have one overall for the series?
Season 2 is a bit of a blur for me. It went by so fast. It's a problem. My favorite episode of season 1 was the finale.
Yeah.
Favorite episode of season 2. Because
I remember season 2 is when they started off in the school, and then from the school they went to the town. Pretty much, they went to the town, and after the town, that's when they did the circus.
Oh, the 2-part carnival episode was my favorite of season. Ironically, that was
season 2. But overall, though, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, each one you had an episode, but is there one that just stood out from the rest? Is it still the penultimate one?
No, it's gonna be the Carnivorous Carnival.
It's the overall for the series.
Yeah, because that's where things finally started. I wouldn't say started making sense. That's where things finally started
coming together.
Like finding out what VFD stood for, finding out so much about this organization as well.
About the headquarters and things like that.
I would say it's not my favorite episode. It's my favorite book of the series. Is the Carnivorous Carnival, because part 1 we found out so much. Part 2, while tragic end, leads us into what season 3 gave us, as well as the tragic death of the librarian.
Exactly. So I mean, I have to admit that's probably one of my favorites. Is that book pretty much?
So if I had to choose favorite books, it can't be a favorite episode. Weirdly for this.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it doesn't have to be an episode, but I mean, overall for this series. So in a way, it's more of 2 episodes, or at least 1 book, pretty much for the series. Unfortunate Events, and that's the Carnivorous Carnival. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's my favorite.
Any favorite moments, pretty much? It was like top moment that just stood out from all the rest. That just had you roll in, or just sing things like that.
What about you? You keep on asking me.
I'm asking you. Only I'm curious. I mean, for me,
there's like a number of them.
for me, it's everything that happened at the school. When they were at the school, because it was
like
like
prep.
Yeah, because it was just some of the ridiculous stuff they had to be put through. It was very just hilarious from beginning to end.
As far as we know, both Carly and Esme are dead because they went to the laundry room, and
that's the last we heard.
Because they didn't believe Olaf that there was a fire.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, they're dead. I don't have the problem I'm having is it keeps on going back to season 3.
Because we just watched it. That's why. That's a difficult part, doing a series overview and things like that. You know, it's difficult because you just finished one season. But I don't know. Like I said, for me, I think it's not like one moment, but just a list of moments from an episode. And that's just, like I said, that's for like I said, when they were at the school. For me personally.
Yeah.
You know, but again, this show pretty much just was a lot to take in, pretty much.
I recommend it. Anybody who wants, I know everybody's watching this or watched the show, but anybody who hasn't and has lurked upon this section,
or you have friends or family who haven't checked out the show and they love, comedic but also mysterious stories.
I would suggest watching this. It's not a perfect show. It has its faults that we already mentioned. But if you can get around those faults, the few faults it does have, it's a very enjoyable experience. In a way, a very enjoyable family experience. If I mean, it doesn't get really too gruesome anywhere. Like it doesn't give like gore, violence, or anything like that. It's implied.
It's implied, but it's like it doesn't get and that's another great thing too. It's like it doesn't get dark in the series until we get to the hospital. That's when it really got.
It got really dark. I mean, it's dark throughout, but
and like we said, pretty much, it just when the theme got a little bit darker, and you're like, wow, this is getting really dark. All of a sudden, that's when that was like the first episode that really went deeper into the rabbit hole for this show, and it was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah, but it's a variable of enjoyable experiences throughout. But I would still recommend it because it's such a delight. It is a very delightful show, despite its tone.
Yeah, exactly.
So, other than that, thank you for
tagging along
with us on this.
Let me think it's a series of unfortunate events.
This very long, 3-season show. We thank everybody who's been with us on the street. Everybody who's commented about what's going to happen, stuff, the differences in the books from the show and the movie. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's always nice to find out a little bit more than what the show is telling us in regards to that. We really thank you for that. We do ask that you, even though this is the end of a series of Fortune Events, we have to ask if you can stick around. I'm not going to plead, I'm just going to ask. If you guys can stick around, that's great. If not, I understand.
And pretty much, I wanted to bring this up as well. You know, if you enjoyed our reactions for a series of unfortunate events, are there any other shows you would love us to check out or take a look? We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. If we get enough requests for it, then maybe we'll watch it. Depends. And we'll keep you updated, things like that.
Yeah,
but
we may try to do another poll since we have more subscribers than the last time we did a poll.
Yeah.
We'll probably ask you guys, what's the next one, you know, after Series Fortune Events should we check out?
Yeah, we may have a poll, we may not. Depends on the response we get from you guys of what other show you would love to see us react to.
Yeah, so other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like it just a little bit more than anybody else. When it came to, I can't believe I'm saying when it came to talking about a series of unfortunate events, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon as well.
Such a mouthful still every time we say it. Again, let us know what you guys thought of not only the season finale overall, just the wrap up of it. Is there anything else that they didn't include that's from the book? I'm pretty sure they did. They always do that anyways. Love to get you guys input on this overall. Just how everything ended up and wrapped up. Your guys' thoughts on this series and how they did it. Did you have fun with it? Did you enjoy it? You know, did you wish they had some parts they should have added in there that would have made it probably even a little bit more better? Again, we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and comments down below. And again, I may repeat myself again, but again, if you want us to watch any other type of show, if you enjoyed our reactions, you know, and you still enjoy our reactions, definitely don't leave. Of course, thank you for subscribing, and don't be afraid to check out our other reactions for other shows. But if you have any more suggestions for other shows, let us know. We love to, like I said, we enjoy. We have so many shows that we actually watch on our own. So you never know, we may watch, you know, like I said, depending on what you guys want us to react to, you know, and depending on how many people want us to watch. Just let us know in the comments below. Put down what you thought of our reaction, not only to this series finale, but also to the series itself, pretty much. And what you guys have thought of our reactions overall, and how we've kept up with you guys. Even the moment, pretty much, when you guys was at the end of, it was like near the end of the hospital, pretty much. When pretty much you guys said like, oh, that was great, Esme, and I got that out for you guys because it's like, I made that promise going, we were listening to you guys pretty much, or, you know, what you want to see for reaction-wise. So definitely let us know in the comments down below what you thought of us overall for this series and our reactions. But most importantly, we definitely thank you 100% for watching. So
I would normally say on the next episode of SRBTV dealing with series of fortune events, but we can't do that anymore. So,
but again,
just let us know. I will do on the next time on SRBTV. Depending on when this gets released, we'll have a numerous couple other stuff coming around. So
Runaways will be next, pretty much. We'll get back into it because usually we have this on Thursdays, and then usually Runaways we have on Fridays.
I was just gonna put it in a general sense. The next time. So,
yeah.
So like this on the next time, just keep an eye on us. You never know what we're gonna react to next. Aside from Runaways, Young Justice, and Dark, currently, and Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So
yeah, just keep up with us with that, and we do have future plans for other stuff. But again, that's still in the works.
So until another episode of another SRB TV, this has been a very final series of unfortunate events filled episode of SRB TV.
Thank you.
And we thank you. And
so,
we will
see you
again sometime.
Later. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out our previous reactions,
as well as our other shows,
click the playlist down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
you can check us out on Twitter,
as well as Stardust,
@SuperReactBros.